Imagine the deep, dark waters of the ocean suddenly churning and swirling. A ship's crew watches in horror as enormous tentacles emerge, wrapping around their vessel with fearsome strength. The legendary Kraken has awakened, and it hungers for the souls of those who dare traverse its watery domain. Yahar! Welcome, adventurers, to a journey through the shadowy depths and mysterious horizons of the sea. Today, we dive into the rich world of pirate myths, legends, and supernatural beliefs that have both haunted and enchanted seafarers and landlubbers alike. That's enough of that. Join me as we unravel the truths and fictions that have shaped the legendary pirate era, a time when every sailor feared what lay beyond the edge of the map, and every horizon promised both treasure and danger. Few creatures are as feared or as legendary as the Kraken. Depicted most as a monstrous octopus or squid, the Kraken is said to dwell in the deepest parts of the ocean, emerging to unleash havoc on unsuspecting ships and their crews. The myth of the Kraken may have originated from sightings of real giant squids, which can reach formidable sizes, with the largest specimens measuring up to 43 feet in length. These encounters with unusually large sea creatures in the vast, unexplored waters likely sparked tales of a beast capable of incredible feats, such as pulling entire vessels into the watery depths. In pirate stories, the Kraken is often the ultimate peril of the sea, an embodiment of sailors' fears and a symbol of the ocean's unpredictable and dangerous nature. Tales often describe terrifying encounters where the sea around a ship begins to boil and bubble before the creature's enormous tentacles wrap around the hull, crushing timbers and pulling the ship under, leaving no survivors to tell the tale. The Locar stands out as one of the Caribbean's most terrifying mythical creatures. Part octopus, part shark, this formidable beast is reputed to inhabit the blue holes and underwater caves of the region, blending elements of real and fantastical sea creatures. The Locar myth likely has its roots in real and dangerous phenomena encountered by sailors and divers in the Caribbean's deep underwater caverns and sinkholes, known as blue holes. These natural formations are mysterious and perilous, known for their strong underwater currents and unique ecosystems. Reports of sudden, unexplained disappearances and encounters with unusually large marine life may have contributed to the birth of the Locar legend. In pirate lore, the Locar is depicted as a colossal guardian of sunken treasures, a creature capable of immense destruction. Stories describe it as emerging from the depths without warning, its tentacles seizing ships and pulling them into the abyss, sometimes accompanied by a terrifying whirlpool. The Locar is often used in tales to evoke the unknown dangers of the Caribbean seas, a region famed for its pirate activity and hidden treasures. Mermaids have long been a staple of seafaring legends, captivating the imaginations of sailors around the world. These mythical beings, typically depicted with the upper body of a human and the tail of a fish, are renowned for their beauty and their ability to enchant those who encounter them. The concept of mermaids has ancient roots, appearing in the folklore of many cultures including the Near Eastern, Greek, and Celtic traditions. The ancient Assyrians worshipped a goddess who transformed into a mermaid, and Greek mythology tells of sirens who lured sailors to their doom with their songs. These early stories reflect the human fascination with the sea and its mysteries, portraying mermaids as personifications of the ocean's allure and danger. In pirate legends, mermaids often appear as omens or supernatural entities that can either bring good luck or lead to a watery grave. Their dual nature is reflective of the sea itself, both nurturing and destructive. Tales of mermaids rescuing sailors or falling in love with humans are abound. But equally common are the stories of mermaids who seduce men to drag them beneath the waves forever. The ambiguity of their intentions makes mermaids more complex figures within maritime lore. Selkis, known as sea folk, occupy a unique place in the mythology of maritime cultures, particularly those of Scotland, Ireland, and the Nordic countries. These mythical creatures live as seals in the sea but shed their skin to become human on land. The legend of the Selki is believed to have originated in the Orkney and Shetland Islands, where the boundary between the everyday and the magical was often blurred. Selkies are thought to represent the relationship between the local people and the sea, a source of sustenance, mystery, and sometimes danger. These tales likely arose from actual observations of seals, which were noted for their expressive eyes and human-like behaviours when observed closely. In pirate and seafaring tales, Selkies do not often appear directly but influence the broader maritime folklore. When they do appear, Selkies are usually depicted in stories of tragic love and loss. In many tales, a human will steal a Selkie's skin, finding it hidden while the Selkie is in human form, and force the Selkie to become their spouse. Without their skin, Selkies cannot return to their true form. Such narratives often end with the Selkie retrieving their skin and returning to the sea, leaving behind human connections, including their own children. Sea sprites. Sprites are ethereal entities believed to inhabit and influence the world's oceans. These mythical beings, often depicted as spirits or minor deities, hold sway over the elements of water and weather, impacting the lives of sailors and the fortunes of sea voyagers. Sea sprites have roots in various cultures, each with its own interpretation of these water spirits. In European folklore, especially from the British Isles and Scandinavia, sea sprites are considered to be whimsical yet potent forces, sometimes helpful and other times malevolent. They embody the capricious nature of the sea, calm one moment and stormy the next. In the realm of pirate mythology, sea sprites might be invoked or blamed for various oceanic phenomena. Sailors might perform rituals to offer tributes to appease these spirits, hoping for a safe passage and calm seas. Conversely, a sudden storm or unexplained mishap during a voyage might be attributed to the displeasure of a sea sprite. These beings are often portrayed as guardians of particular stretches of the sea or coastal areas, wielding the power to both protect and punish. Sea serpents are among the most iconic and enduring creatures in maritime mythology. Depicted as enormous, snake-like monsters capable of terrifying even the most seasoned sailors, these legendary beings have been reported in various cultures across the globe, symbolizing the fear and awe inspired by the vast, uncharted waters of the world's oceans. The myth of the sea serpent is ancient, with descriptions appearing in various forms across many cultures, including Norse, Greek, and Native American folklore. Often these creatures were thought to be omens or manifestations of the god's will, reflecting the cultural significance of the sea as a powerful and unpredictable force. Historical accounts of sea serpent sightings might have been inspired by real marine animals, such as oarfish or unusually large eels, which were misidentified or exaggerated into monstrous beings. In pirate lore, sea serpents often appear as formidable challengers or supernatural threats. Stories typically depict these creatures attacking ships, coiling around them with their massive bodies, or capsizing vessels with ease. They serve as ultimate tests of a pirate's bravery and seamanship, often used in tales to heighten the drama of a journey or battle at sea. The Flying Dutchman is one of the most haunting and widely recognized legends in maritime folklore. Said to be a ghostly vessel doomed to sail the oceans forever, the story of the Flying Dutchman speaks to deep-seated fears of death and the unknown, often seen as a bad omen by sailors. The legend likely originated in the 17th century during the golden age of sail, a period when long sea voyages were common and mariners were frequently faced with perilous conditions. The story is thought to have begun with a Dutch captain who, attempting to round the Cape of Good Hope in treacherous weather, vowed to press on even if it took until Judgment Day. His hubris and refusal to turn back supposedly led to the ship's damnation, condemning it and its crew to an eternity at sea. In pirate and maritime tales, the Flying Dutchman serves as a spectral warning. It is often depicted as appearing from the mist, glowing with a ghostly light. Sailors who sight the ship are said to face misfortune or doom, with tales sometimes involving direct encounters where the phantom crew tries to communicate messages to the living or attempts to lure them to share their fate. The Flying Dutchman has permeated various aspects of popular culture, symbolizing the ultimate ghost story of the ocean. The ship's tale has been adapted in numerous literary works, operas, films, and other media, each interpretation exploring themes of redemption, fate, and the supernatural. Its image as a cursed vessel with a ghostly crew encapsulates the age-old seafaring notion that the sea is a realm filled with both natural and supernatural dangers. Davy Jones' Locar is a mythical abyss at the bottom of the sea, serving as the final resting place for drowned sailors and sunken ships. It is one of the most enduring and vivid elements of nautical folklore, symbolizing the ocean's deadly power and the ultimate fate of those lost to its depths. The origin of Davy Jones is shrouded in mystery. Various theories suggest he might have been a real person, perhaps a notorious pirate or pub owner who kidnapped sailors, or he might have been an amalgam of mythic sea figures. Over time, Davy Jones evolved in sailors' lore to become the embodiment of the sea devil, or spirit of the underworld of the ocean, with his locker representing the deepest, darkest part of the sea. In pirate and maritime lore, being sent to Davy Jones's locker is a euphemism for dying at sea, specifically sinking or drowning. The phrase conjures images of a watery grave, forever hidden beneath the waves, isolated from the land of the living. Stories and tales often mention this phrase to evoke fear or resign acceptance to the perilous life and the often inevitable fate of those who live by the sea. The black spot is a notorious symbol within pirate folklore, representing a mark of judgment or condemnation, typically a death sentence handed down among pirates. It gained fame largely due to its inclusion in Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novel Treasure Island, but it also has roots in historical maritime practices. The concept of the black spot is believed to have been derived from judicial practices in the 17th and 18th centuries, where a blackened coin or a piece of paper with a black spot was used to signify guilt or accusation among sailors and pirates. This method of signalling a verdict was likely adapted into pirate lore as a dramatic and straightforward means of delivering a grim fate to a doomed individual. In Treasure Island and other pirate stories, the black spot serves as a powerful plot device. It is typically delivered by hand or found among one's possessions, marking the recipient for death. The message is often accompanied by a specific date or time, heightening the suspense and dread associated with receiving such a mark. The use of the black spot in these narratives captures the rough justice and lawlessness of pirate life, where verdicts are swift and often final. The black spot has become a well-recognized element of pirate mythology, symbolizing treachery, doom, and the harsh retributive justice practiced among pirates. Its simplicity and dramatic impact have made it a favorite literary tool to evoke fear and anticipation in stories involving pirates and treasure hunts. The green flash is a rare and beautiful meteorological phenomenon that occurs just before sunrise or right after sunset under specific atmospheric conditions. It appears as a sudden green flare on the upper rim of the sun, lasting just a few seconds. Though rooted in science, the green flash has woven itself into maritime folklore and pirate legends as an omen or a sign of good fortune. The scientific basis of the green flash lies in the refraction of sunlight at the horizon, where the light bends more strongly through the atmosphere, separating into different colors. The green light, being in the middle of the visible spectrum, sometimes stands out briefly as the sun's disk changes position relative to the observer. Despite its scientific explanation, the rarity and striking nature of the phenomenon have given rise to various superstitions and myths among sailors. In pirate lore and seafaring stories, seeing a green flash is often considered a sign of good luck, heralding the promise of a prosperous journey or the assurance of returning home safely. It's also said to give sailors the ability to see fairies or communicate with sea creatures, enhancing its mystical reputation. In tales of adventure and exploration, the green flash might be used to mark the beginning of a significant voyage or the discovery of treasure. St. Elmos Fire is a stunning electrical phenomenon that occurs during thunderstorms at sea or in mountainous regions. It manifests as a luminous blue or violet glow, often appearing as a corona or discharge around pointed objects, such as ship masts, rigging, or mountaintops. While scientifically understood as a form of plasma discharge, St. Elmo's Fire has long been intertwined with maritime folklore, serving as a mystical and awe-inspiring sight for sailors. The phenomena is named after Saint Erasmus of Formia, the patron saint of sailors, who is known as Saint Elmo. According to legend, St. Elmo's Fire was seen as a divine sign of protection by sailors, attributed to the presence of the saint watching over them during storms at sea. Over time, the site of St. Elmo's Fire became associated with safety and reassurance, providing sailors with a beacon of hope during perilous voyages. In pirate lore, witnessing St. Elmo's Fire is often regarded as a positive omen, signalling the saint's protection and the promise of a safe passage through turbulent waters. Sailors may interpret the phenomenon as a guiding light, leading them away from danger and toward calmer seas. It's also been said to imbue sailors with a sense of courage and resolve during storms, reinforcing their belief in the saint's guardianship. In maritime superstition, a Jonah is regarded as a harbinger of misfortune, believed to bring bad luck to a ship and its crew. This notion stems from the biblical story of Jonah, where his presence on a vessel during a storm leads to disaster. From ancient seafaring traditions to modern superstitions, the tale of Jonah has left an enduring legacy as a cautionary tale of the perils of tempting fate at sea. The concept of a Jonah originates from the book of Jonah in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. In the biblical narrative, Jonah, a prophet fleeing from God's command, boards a ship bound for Tarshish. However, his presence incurs the wrath of a sea god, resulting in a violent storm that threatens to sink the ship. To appease the angry deity, the sailors cast Jonah into the sea, where he is swallowed by a great fish. This tale of divine retribution and the consequences of disobedience has led to the association of Jonah with ill fortune at sea. In pirate and maritime folklore, the figure of Jonah is often invoked as a cautionary symbol. Sailors may fear the presence of a Jonah aboard their vessel, believing that it will bring calamity and disaster upon their voyage. Tales of ships encountering storms, shipwrecks, or other misfortunes often incorporate the motif of a cursed individual resembling Jonah, serving as a warning against tempting fate and defying the natural order. The Brethren of the Coast refers to a loose association of pirates and privateers who operated primarily in the Caribbean during the 17th and 18th centuries. This confederation of buccaneers played a significant role in shaping the history of piracy in the New World, establishing a network of mutual support and cooperation that challenged the dominance of European colonial powers. The origins of the Brethren of the Coast can be traced back to the early days of European colonization in the Americas. Originally consisting of ex-privateers and adventurers, the Brethren were drawn together by a common desire for wealth, independence, and freedom from the constraints of authority. Their ranks included individuals from diverse backgrounds, ranging from former indentured servants to skilled sailors and craftsmen. In pirate lore and maritime history, the Brethren of the Coast are often romanticized as swashbuckling heroes fighting against tyranny and oppression. Tales of their exploits, including raids on Spanish treasure galleons and daring escapes from colonial authorities, have captured the imagination of storytellers and audiences alike. The Brethren's democratic and egalitarian principles, such as their adherence to a code of conduct and their practice of sharing plunder, have further contributed to their legendary status as noble outlaws of the sea. The Pirate Code, also known as the Articles of Agreement, served as a set of rules and regulations governing the conduct and operation of pirates during the golden age of piracy. This code of conduct, although not standardized across all pirate crews, provided a framework for maintaining order, discipline, and solidarity among the often unruly and diverse band of buccaneers. The origins of the Pirate Code can be traced back to the buccaneers of the Caribbean, who established a system of rules and customs to govern their activities. While not written down in a single document, the Pirate Code was based on common principles of fairness, equality, and mutual respect among crew members. These articles were designed to ensure a democratic and egalitarian environment aboard pirate ships, where decisions were made collectively and disputes were resolved through consensus. In pirate lore and popular culture, the pirate code is often depicted as a romanticized symbol of pirate honor and camaraderie. Tales of pirate crews swearing allegiance to the code and adhering to its principles in their adventures on the high seas have become legendary. Calypso is a mythical figure originating from Greek mythology, known as the nymph who captivated Odysseus in Homer's The Odyssey. Over time, her legend evolved, and she became associated with the sea and maritime adventures. In pirate folklore, Calypso embodies the allure and danger of the ocean, serving as a symbol of freedom, temptation, and the untamed forces of nature. In Greek mythology, Calypso is depicted as a beautiful nymph who resides on the island of Ogygia. She enchants Odysseus and keeps him captive on her island for 7 years, offering him immortality in exchange for his love. However, Odysseus eventually leaves Calypso's island to return to his homeland of Ithaca. In pirate tales and maritime folklore, Calypso is often depicted as a powerful and enigmatic figure, ruling over the seas with both benevolence and caprice. Sailors may invoke her name for protection during voyages or seek her favor in times of peril. Calypso's island, shrouded in mystery and danger, serves as a metaphor for the allure of treachery of the sea, a place where dreams and nightmares intertwine. These stories, woven into the fabric of maritime history, remind us that the sea is both a fearsome adversary and a source of endless fascination. They speak of a time when the map's edges were bordered with the unknown, and the sailors' hearts were filled with both dread and wonder.